TinkerCAD tips, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of the Hexagon Fidget tutorial. This is what we're trying to make here, something that looks like this. It is all wild with these little ears and slots. When it's completed, let's go ahead and move this out of the way. So in part 1, we had created this. This is the beginning of one of our cells. And we had created the hexagon shape, raised it up, hollowed it out on the inside, and then put this cylinder to support the top of this hexagon when we go to print it. So in this tutorial, we're going to begin working on these slots that we're going to put in it and these ears that will interlock to the one or the cell next to it. All right, so to start this, let's go ahead and bring out, let's see here, this triangle here. Let's rotate this around to a point where we can use it correctly. You want it like that. There we go. Let's raise this up a bit. And we're going to make this about 3 millimeters wide. And I'm going to bring this in a bit. Okay. And for the time being, we're just going to bring this over here. We're eventually going to drop it on the edge and such. But there's one more part for this that we need to make. So we'll put that about there. Bring that in just a little bit. Now, it's important to note that this angle here, whoops, too far. This angle here, we want to be greater than a 45, because when we go to print this, and since we can't use supports, we have to have an angle that's printable. If this angle was clear out here, it would be difficult, if not impossible, to print. So that's why I've brought this in a bit, and we'll do a little bit of adjusting here in a moment. We have another part to make. That's this little circular part up here that's going to go on top of it. So to do that, zoom out a bit here. Let's bring a circle out. I'm going to hold Alt-Shift, and I'm going to reduce this down to about 10 millimeters. I'm going to make the height of this, say, 3 millimeters. Well, let's go with 2.5. There we go. Now I want to cut a couple of angles on this to make it more of a triangle at the bottom. So I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to bring out a whole box. Let's go ahead and scale this down this way a bit. And first I'm going to rotate this. Whoops, let's rotate this 45 degrees. About there. And then I'm going to grab that rotation handle, and I'm looking at this angle here. I want to make this also greater than 45 degrees. So I'm going to pull the cursor outside of that circle. I'm going to rotate just a little bit, about there. Okay. Now while that's selected, I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to click on mirror. I'm going to mirror it this direction. And then I'm going to shift nudge this one over a bit, about like that. Okay. I'm going to grab both of these and I'm going to group them together. Now what I want to do is shift select this circle here. I'm going to click on a line. Going to get them centered on one another. And then I'm going to move this circle down into those to where I'm essentially cutting a sort of pie shape out of it. You see there? And I'm making sure these whole boxes are taller than that circle. I'm going to grab the two of those and click group. And that's what we're left with. Okay, let's do a little bit of rotation here. Let's rotate it 90 degrees this way and 90 degrees that direction. All right, now we need to bring this over here and get this lined up with that green triangle. While I have this one selected, I'm going to shift select the triangle, click Align, click on this triangle to keep it the focal point. We're going to align that direction, and I'm going to click up here to sort of bring it in. Oh, let's do one more alignment here. Let's bring it to this outer edge. There we go. And now I'm going to select that piece of pie, or that circle shape, and holding down the Control key, I'm going to cursor up a bit. And we want to get this to a point where we're up into that triangle. We want that ear to be up just a little bit. That looks pretty good where it's at. Okay. Now, before we do anything, let's make sure that that pie shape, this ear, will fit inside of the edge of another one of our hexagons. So I'm going to click on this hexagon here. I'm going to click Duplicate, and I'm going to Shift Nudge this over. And I'm going to do that until they're just apart from each other about there. I want to leave at least 1/2 or 3/4 of a millimeter gap in between the two of them. Okay. Let's go ahead and hide that one for just a moment. Control H. And while we got these two together here, let's go ahead and make sure they're up against our other hexagon here. Let's turn that back solid. Okay, I'm going to select the two of those, and I'm going to Shift Nudge them over a little bit till they intersect. And we'll do a better job of this momentarily. We're just getting a rough estimate here. Shift Control H to bring that other one back. Make that transparent. Now, if you look at this, you can see that this orange pie shape here is well in the middle of that open area inside of it. In fact, we could probably bring that triangle shape in. Actually, let's do this. Let's bring that triangle shape in a bit. And now I'm going to try to select that orange pie shape. I'm going to select two shapes here, then deselect that one. Oops, I have them both selected. Deselect the triangle. There we go. I have just the pie shape. And I can bring that over a little bit more. That's pretty close. Nope, looks like we need to move that back out. Right about there should be good. Let's grab that orange triangle again. Bring it back out, and we're just adjusting our size here so that that orange pie shape doesn't touch the sides of this hexagon at all, that there's enough tolerance that everything will print correctly. Okay, in fact, let's make that orange pie shape a little narrower. I can do that by selecting these two shapes and deselecting the hexagon here. And let's narrow that pie shape up. Oops, we still have that triangle selected. Let's zoom in there and deselect that. There we go. Bring that in a bit more. Okay, I think we're ready to do our final fitment. We're just at over 9 minutes here. Hope you enjoyed part 2. Check back tomorrow for part 3. We'll continue working on these tabs and putting the slots in these and continuing making our hexagon fidget. As always, like, follow, share, repost, or add to favorites. And if nothing else, you can always click on my bio and click on my TinkerCAD tips playlist and watch these. Until then, happy tinkering. Come back for part 3.